So we just move on to the next facilitator. So without much ado, please let's welcome Rene Essuman, a vocal coach, a keyboardist, and an international basis. You are welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. For those who know me, you might know me as a bass player. You might know me as a keyboardist. You might know me as a music director. You might know me as a prayer person. You might know me as a something. Everybody has an aspect. But how many singers do we have here? Oh, raise your hands. You don't pay for it. And then how many instrumentalists are here? Good. So I want to talk about the general things we know already. And the question is, here you want to learn. What you want to learn? You want to learn how to better your music as a singer vocally, or you want to learn how to play skillfully as an instrumentalist. I believe that everything that we do in the house of God should be done to perfection. How many of us believe that? But you realize that it's in the house of God that things are like some way. And especially church. I tend to have issues with church choirs, personally. It's only in the church choir that you know, and people are so indisciplined. Like, come to rehearsal at 9, they'll come at 12. And these same people, when they go to other choirs, non-denominational choirs, are quick to get there early. You get me? And I tend to wonder, what's the issue? What's happening? But, I'm sure today we might probably talk about some of these things and then help us build ourselves individually, help grow the church also. So as I got the inspiration, I'm sleepy, I was asking, what has my journey been like growing up? So I typically share a lot more about his personal experiences. It won't hurt to share mine. So when I was young, around 6, 7, my house was just opposite a church. And anytime I go to the church, that was where, may his soul rest in peace, AB, keyboardist for Soul Winners those days, Abraham, that was his church. So when I go to church, as young as I was, I don't go to Sunday school, I'll just go and stand by him and be watching everything he'll be doing. I was so young, and I was wondering if I really did understand, but I would only capture a shape. If I say a shape, I mean the keyboardist will understand. Probably Obo B, Ninsana is style B. Then when we close church, and like they're out there chatting, I'll go and sit there and I'll try and see if I'll be able to make sense out of that. I don't know how it happened. At a point, I realized I started playing they had this morning devotions they do in the church at 5 a.m. I would go and sit down. And I remember I used to play just 1, 4, 5. Do, 5, and so. And I just play in F. So if you come and you decide to want to sing in another key, please, we will still be at F. That is it. So that's how it started with me. And then along the line, I was like, no, drums looks nicer. Let me go and play drums. I was inspired to go and play drums. So, yes, I started. At a point, I'm like, nah. The bass player in the church, church, almost friend and way too known. So I'm like, okay, fine, let me take the opportunity. I was also inspired to go and learn bass. So before I got to secondary school, I could play drums, I could play keyboards, I could play bass guitar, but I didn't really understand what I was doing. So it was in the secondary school when a music student came to me, because at that point I was playing by ear, and I could listen to like a full classical piece and play by ear. So one music student came to me and was like, Charlie, what you read music for? I'm like, me, music, read. I don't even know what to. He's like, Charlie, the way I play. And I used to play, it was a Catholic school. So when people came and they were opening books and stuff to play from, I'll just go and sit and play from my ear. Once I hear what you play, we are good. I'll just come and I'll come and play my mind. And I even play far better. So then the guy was like, you know what? Take this whole music thing serious. So I decided, okay, fine. Let me start learning. Gone were those days. I look young, I'm old though. Those are time YouTube wasn't like YouTube today. So you'd have to go to people who have the materials. Either it wasn't pen drive, it was CD. Yeah, yeah. Now wait, yeah. You get it. And those times, it was just a few people who had access to these materials. So, talk about those Laborel, Victor Wooten, like those things. We'll go and beg them. Some people would have to go and wash for them. And I'm telling you these things that, Charlie, see, to be able to get to the point you want to get to in music, and there's a price to pay. Do you get me? There's a price to pay. So we'll go and do all these things. Then they'll give you the CD, or they'll say, me benyama, so CD bra. Then go and buy Blu-ray CD. Then they'll burn it for you. Then I'll go. Around that time, I didn't have an instrument. I didn't have a guitar. I didn't have a piano or anything. And this is to all of us. The fact that you don't have the instrument is no excuse not to be good at what you do. The fact that you play keyboard, I doubt, probably you had that about your parents bought you the keyboard when you were. But Charlie, some of us hardcore, we had to go to church. We have to watch the video in the house and try and capture the thing and go to church and go and try it. You get it? Like, and that was hard work. The reason being that for some of us, we had come to love what we do and we wanted to get better at it. It doesn't come overnight. It doesn't. So the first thing I put here was to be a good musician, whether singer, instrumentalist, whatever, you need to be patient and then have a persistent attitude. You need to be patient and have what? Have a persistent attitude. Some of us, when we come to church or when we go for rehearsal, and our music directors, like, and you think you are doing your music director. You're not doing your music director. Your music director is doing you a favor by correcting you. And trust me, if you can take that correction in good faith and be persistent in what you do, you will turn out to be a better musician. Please, do you get me? So, like I said, getting better doesn't come overnight. It takes work. Gone were the days when I was in the university, days when I had less lectures. I used to practice like 6-7 hours in a day. How many singers here can even on their own rehearse like 30 minutes? If I call you right now and ask you, give me 5 different vocal exercises, it will become a problem here. But you're a singer in the church. We are limiting the music to church, right? You're a singer in the church. You've been with the choir for 5 years. Transpose. I'm one of the few people who find transpose a bit weird. Because what happens when the music has changes? Right? So be patient and be persistent. Don't give up. Sometimes a thing, but push yourself to it. I'm sure you all aspire to be like somebody. You understand? I'm sure you aspire to be like somebody. The whole goal is not to please people, but the goal is to please your Father in heaven, and He deserves the best. That is the only reason why you want to push yourself to the extra mile and make sure you are giving the best to God. You see, I used to have issues with churches or church leaders who don't see the need to get good music equipment or musical equipment for the church. When Kojo is organizing an event, you go to Kojo events and find a cymbal or a hi-hat that is torn. But when you come to the church, all these things are there. You understand me? So until you come to that realization that it is God you are doing this thing for, and you need to give him the best, you won't push yourself to want to. You do think that the way you sing, if Jesus Christ is standing by you, he'll be happy. Or the way you play. So let that be your motivation. It takes patience and it takes persistence. The second thing I wrote here, and I think that will be a bit more biased towards the musicians, the band people. One of the things that I realized, and these are personal experiences, that I realized helped me in my journey was learning how to improvise. And that is what makes you unique. You know, when they are playing a song and you've not probably heard the song before, you can just listen to the song and tell who you think sang the song. How many of us do that? So I was playing a song sometime, one of the times in my car, and somebody was seated and like, is this Joe Metal? And I'm like, oh no, there's no Joe Metal. Because the person sounded like Joe Metal. The production sounded like Joe Metal's production. So it is Luigi's new song, the Mille song. Do you understand? And this is it. Inspiration. Yeah. It tells you where he's taking inspiration from. Please, do you get me? To be able to be unique in your music ministry, learn to improvise. It's very, 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 very important. If I say, how many of us understand improvise? If you don't understand improvise, don't raise your hand though. I'll explain. So if I say improvise as a musician, you're a chorister. They gave you a song by any of these artists to sing. Charlie, the way some people, I'm not against learning the thing dito. Charlie, but some people can learn the ad-libs in the song, and if the tongues, that kind of thing. All I'm trying to say is that after learning all those things, personalize the song and make it yours. I wish I could demonstrate. Manuel, please be on the keys for me, right? He's going to play and I'm going to play. Okay. Please, if you play more than me, we will go home. So, let's probably, any singer here? Okay. So we are here let's just have fun.
Amenina, gracia amenina, mumra meshenya beneba, wakorono, mumra meshene nyonya. Amenina, gracia amenina, mumra meshenya meneba, wakorono, mumra meshenya.
What am I trying? Oh, please don't go. We are not done. God bless you, Sofo. I'm feeling so that we will feel the heat together. Now, what improvisation does is that it brings beauty to the thing. Can I play some? Maunyo, can I play some? You can't hear. Please, we can't hear. I should be out here from here in the next, like, God knows how many seconds. Okay, so that is that, right? I'm going to play the song. You all know that song, like, you all know it. And then on the second one, I'll improvise. I'll improvise because I might possibly just change a few things in there. And then you tell me how you feel about it. Okay. But Maunyo plays better than I do. Keep that. As basic as everybody knows the song, right? I'm trying to keep it very simple. People might have issues with my progression, and you know what they are. So you hear this and you know the song, right? Now, I'm trying to. Do you get it? It's the same song, but I try to change a few things just so it doesn't sound boring. And this doesn't only apply to instrumentalists, singers. I know some singers saying, I won't mention any church, but when they start singing, like it's the same thing over, especially if you give them solo. So please, learn to improvise. These things, we can't do them in a day, but your music directors would do so much justice to tell your music director, I want to learn how to improvise. There's always a way around it. And like he said, inspiration, and it also comes with the knowledge you have, right? So for a simple song like Dana Say, let's do F. So if, assuming somebody comes to me, I want to do Dana Say probably in a different way. I tend to think about a lot of things because I feel I'm exposed to a lot of things. So the Dana Say can be played in a major mode, the regular Dana Say. Let's play in a major mode. You know this, right? Now this sounds very exciting. I can change the mood of Dana Say and make it sound so sorrowful. And you want to ask me how I'm going to do that? Probably it's just my knowledge on colors of chords. So chords have colors. Chords drive emotions. Now we are on a major, F major, right? So that's Dana Say 1. Now let's do F minor, still on the, yeah. And this Dana Say. How does it feel? Come back to the major. So let's play Dana Say just in major. In the major register. Now let's go to the minor. Now it sounds da 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 da, right? Exactly. So it's the same song that can be sung in the major register and in the minor register. I don't even want to go into the different kinds of minor scales. How many of us know that there are 3 different kinds of minor scales? We don't know. It's fine. I don't blame us. But you see, push yourself to understand some of these things. I love singers who understand what they do on stage. And that is what I desire to see every singer do. Those who do that are not above you. You are here because you want to learn. Probably I'm just introducing you to some of these things so that when you get the chance, you can now everything is online. Just Google. When you get the chance to talk to that keyboardist in your church, have relevant questions to ask him. And don't allow the devil lead the conversation. Please, do you understand? So yeah, so learn how to improv. So that's like something brief on improvisation. Improvisation is a whole topic for a full day. You get it? But that's not the reason why I came. I came so that everybody will be. You have a question? Okay, please talk to me. Can we get a microphone for her?
Thank you very much. I have a bit of a challenge when you are talking about improvisation. I am not clear. Forgive me. I am trying to understand it from the English perspective.
Okay.
To improvise or to be creative.
Yeah.
How different is it? Because I understand improvisation to be making something out of what is not there or out without preparation.
Okay.
But from what you are saying, it's like you know what you are doing and you are going ahead to do it. But how different is that from creativity?
Okay. So
Thank you.
You also have a question. You want to say something? Okay, let me just finish. Let me try and then. So if I'm getting you well, all I'm trying to say is this. There's a generalized way of doing things. Once I decide to go off the general way, it's an improvised version of what is there. That is why I intentionally played the first song, Rene Nhyira, in a particular way. Everybody knows that. And then I improvised it because I decided to tweak a bit of notes in there. That doesn't fall under the general. And you'd understand this better when we are even doing vocal stuff, where everybody knows that a major chord is a 1-3-5. So if the leading note is the 5, that's the sopranos are singing so, altos are singing mi, and then tenors are singing do. I might decide to want to do a sus2 chord, still on the same melody, where now would have also singing re, tenor still singing the do, and then soprano still singing so, and that is an improvised something. So with improvisation, there's supposed to be an original. Please, you get me? Once there's no original, then what you are doing is the original. But if there's an original, whatever you do outside the original, that can be explained as an improvised version. Please, do you understand me? So that nobody will just go and play nonsense and bring it to you that it's improvised version. No. The person should be able to explain to you. Please, is that fine? Please, any other? Do I move on? I just have like 3 more points. The next thing is never stop learning. You are never there. Me, I have a very fine CV of musicians I've worked with. I'm just not the hype kind of musician. Yes, it is money I want. I'm not there. Don't mind me. Okay, but it's just because I'm constantly in the mode of learning. Sometimes I learn for no reason. Sometimes I can just pick an album and decide to learn keyboards, decide to learn bass, not because I'm going to play it anywhere, because I feel they've played stuff in the thing I don't know. One thing that embarrasses me is when I go somewhere and then something happens and I'm not able to deliver. Like, Charlie, it's an embarrassment to me. Like, I can't stand it. I personally can't stand it. And that is a personal drive. And that is what is supposed to drive all of you. Everybody's talking about a particular song in town. All churches are singing it. Like, say, you get it? Never stop learning. Like, don't. Constantly look to upgrade yourself. There's materials everywhere. Things are not tough like our time. Things are not tough like our time. But in all these things, you still need a teacher. You still need a mentor. Don't forget that. The next thing I want to talk about, I think I'm just done, Paul. Stay committed. Very, very important. Stay committed. Stay committed to whatever it is you are doing in church. There are musicians that the moment small favor falls on you, small grace falls on you, you don't want to be in church again because today this church is calling you no, this church is calling you. I honestly didn't come to talk about spiritual matters. I came to talk about the music. But one of the days when we get the chance to also have a chance to share depths of music, we'll talk about these things too. But stay committed. Don't leave church. The growth is there. Don't leave church. It's very, very important. And then, whatever it is you're doing, keep it fun. Keep it what? Keep it fun. If you don't make it fun, it becomes boring. It becomes boring. And that is the last thing. So somebody's going to ask, how do I keep vocal exercise and fun? I saw something on TikTok, and I realized, this is very creative. So it's just the tonic solfege. They assigned, there's a regular assignation of numbers to the tonic solfege. Do you know tonic solfege? Do, re, mi, fa, so. Exactly. And only a friend in tonic solfege. So if you also forget everything I said today, remember I taught you tonic solfege, and that is what? Do, re, mi. And then they assign numbers to this tonic solfege. So do is 1, re is 2, mi is 3, and then like that. When you get to the last do, people say 8. People do 1. They write say 1 and then put something on top. Means an octave higher. Like all these things are there. Good. So there's this vocal exercise. Since there are more singers here, we are all going to do the vocal exercise and see how fun it is. But in a way, it helps you also. So try to find ways to make whatever it is you're doing here fun. For all of us who are singers, let's be up. Let's do this exercise. Makasa Dodo, let's all be up. The singers, let's be up. Oh, don't be scared. I won't give you the microphone to sing into it. Don't be. Relax. Okay, so basic. Let's do C. So might possibly just do notes. Right? So, like I said, Do is what? Oh, please, I'm doing this. Do is what? 1. Re is mi, fa, so, la, ti, and then the do. So we are going to do, we'll take do, and then we move to the next, which is what? Re. And then we come back to the do. Then we do do again. We go to re, we go to mi, back to re, and back to do. Do you get it? Or you want us to demonstrate? The singer is here, please. So, do, re, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi. We can try that, right? So let's take it very slow. So you're going to play with us. Yeah, see. Do, right, do, re, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. Do you get it? And it continues like that. Can we try? I'm not singing someone. Okay, so I should take it again. Okay, so I take it again. So this is where you have to know do, re, mi, fa. So okay, so I should write it. Patrick from mine. Do. No, so it goes in that order. So the first one is do, right? We have do, re, re, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Do you get it? Do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. Who can try the next one for me? Continue. You want? No. Oh no. You know. The singers. Who would want to try the next one? Oh, I'm waiting. Oh, please do and let me run away. Oh. He's played it. So it is just. Sorry. So you realize that, what was the last thing? This is the last note we ended. So, and then we came back, right? So if you are continuing, it's do, re, mi, fa, so, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. And then it continues like that. So let's just take for the first five. I mean, with the rest, when you get to the house, you can try, right? So 1, 2, go. Do, do, re, do, do, re, mi, re, do. Regular do re fa, so that when you go to church rehearsal and they say do, you say maybe I'm not too new, but trust me, some people can't do this, and this is just like ascending. There's a descending part too. Do do ti do do ti la ti do do ti la so la ti do, and these things like looks like grow, but they help your singing. It sharpens your ear. When you go to the la, you realize some people were wondering what the la sounds like. So whatever it is you are doing, please sit down. God bless you people. Clap for yourselves. Whatever it is you find doing, find nicer ways to make it fun. Right? Find nicer ways to make it fun, and it will go a long way to help you. The last thing I'm saying, and then I'm going to take my seat, is this. When somebody walks into your church or anywhere you get the chance to minister, the person doesn't know whether you are a beginner or you weren't at the rehearsal. And I'm saying this with regards to if you went to share the song or you played nonsense or something. Sorry. Whoever, me, if I'm seated there, I don't know whether you were there for the rehearsal, whether it is a keyboardist who changed the key for you, or all I know is that this guy is no good. But there might be genuine reasons. Genuine reasons like maybe the keyboardist changed the key, like he said. And now said, like other genuine reasons. But once, and I'm saying this because Bible says that anything your hand finds to do with all your might. Sometimes people ask me, are you a keyboardist or I'm a bassist? Like, I'm a natural bass player. Any day, anytime. Okay, but when you come hear me probably in church playing keyboards, you might think, oh, like the keyboardist is good, oh. I'm not. The only reason being that anything I find my hands to do, I do it well. So if you get a chance to sing it well. You don't know where that particular day you sang, who was there to listen, like an experience he shared. And sometimes I make us say, oh, church, no. Anytime you get the chance to minister, anytime you get the chance to bless the people of God, be very prepared and make sure you are giving out your best. It's really, 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 really important. Because I'll come and carry the first impression away. So if I get the chance to mention your name somewhere, or let's say I sit in a meeting, they go like, oh, let's call Maonyo for this production. I heard him someday, probably that day he wasn't well. Probably that day he wasn't well. So, but once when I came, I didn't enjoy what I heard. We are done. Like, don't give people the chance to judge you wrongly. Always make sure you do the right thing. Thank you.